There's an actionable step that I think you should take right here, right now, and that you should continue doing every single day for the rest of your life. That is to never put your phone in your pocket again. There was a book written by an entrepreneur that you may have known of. His name's Tim Ferriss. He wrote The 4-Hour Workweek. He also wrote another book that you've probably not read, and the book title was The 4-Hour Body. And inside of this book, he gave these weird hacks for you to improve your body, and one of them was a way to double your sperm count, which also increases your testosterone. And it was by not keeping your phone in your pocket. So this guy, he's like an entrepreneur author, he ended up finding that he had like a pretty bad sperm, and he has multiple tests. He tries to change his lifestyle, but nothing really works. Then he eventually sees some papers that show that the phone radiation can cause testicular cancer. So he tries that. Instead of keeping his phone in his pocket, he gets like one of those runners, you know, like the armband that runners sometimes use, and they keep their phone in there. He starts just keeping his phone in there. Testosterone and sperm instantly shoot up. This book he published, I believe it was over 10 years ago. I read it years ago and I thought, oh, whatever, that, you know, that's not that important. I doubt it anyway, like, because I've heard that phone radiation, EMFs, 4G, 5G, I've heard those things are completely fine. Did you remember maybe a few years ago there was loads of people talking about whether or not 4G or 5G was unhealthy, you know, like the cellular service of 5G that came out, and there was a debate and people were saying, oh yeah, it is unhealthy. Some people were saying, no, it's absolutely fine, look at the data and stuff. This guy who published this book 10 years ago, I believe more than 10 years, he was absolutely right. And only now some scientists are actually beginning to talk about this. I'm surprised, right? Andrew Huberman's made an episode on this and literally no one talks about it. Keeping your phone in your pocket literally destroys your testosterone and your sperm, and I'm surprised that no one else in the space of like masculinity, self-improvement even knows about this just yet. I'll link it below just so you know it's based on his credibility and not mine, as I'm not a scientist or anything, but I'm just listening to what more intelligent, educated guys are saying. And now, because usually these types of researchers and scientists, they're usually quite modest, aren't they? They usually would say like, oh yeah, this paper kind of shows like something like this, but we need more research. But when there's a scientist that a lot of people like, Andrew Huberman, he's very credible, when he's literally made this video saying that he doesn't keep his phone in his pocket and he never will. He keeps his phone switched off for most of the time because of the fear of the radiation that comes from it. And then here's us. But I literally thought this today. I hope she's not watching this video. But a girl that I dated, she used to keep her phone underneath her pillow at night time. She's probably cheating or something, right? Like, you know, obviously I'd sleep next to her. And she used to literally keep her phone underneath the pillow, bro. The amount of radiation she must have got, she must have lost so many brain cells. But yeah, like your phone, Wi-Fi, Bluetooth, 4G, 5G, the cellular service, these emit like, you know, little radio frequencies that actually harm your health. It's been a debate for the last like decade or so, and everyone's on either side saying that, oh yeah, it's really unhealthy, we need to get away from the 5G towers and everything. And then all the like the smart guys saying like, no, look, the radiation's only 0.12% and you know it can be okay. The thing is, I don't think humans or animals are supposed to have any kind of radio frequency coming. If you imagine the caveman times, there was no satellite dishes in the sky back then. There was no Wi-Fi or 4G. So we didn't know. These are modern inventions for the last 100 years. And we're seeing huge spikes of testicular cancer, of infertility. And this is probably a part of it. Well, it's not probably, like we have the research now. It is a part of it. So this is such an easy, like quick, practical step that you can start today, but you probably do have some limiting beliefs. What are they? First question you're asking is, if I don't keep my phone in my pocket, where do I keep it? Personally, this is exactly what I do. I just hold my phone like this, like literally wherever I am, my phone's just like this. Like, so if I'm walking somewhere, I'll demonstrate walking for you. Like, I'm just holding my phone like this. If I'm in the gym, I'm still holding my phone like this, but then when I'm actually doing the set, I'll put it down on the bench or on the floor underneath me or on like the little seat there or on the side somewhere there. To be honest, I only really go to the gym, so if I'm in the car or something, then what I'll do is I won't put it. I saw a friend, so I went for a hike. This is a side note, but bro, I went for a hike a few weeks ago, and my friend who was driving, he literally, I saw him grab his phone and he literally put it like between his legs, like just over his balls, like, you know, he had the map on or something. And I literally, like, without even being weird or gay, I reached between his lap, grabbed his phone and put it to the side. I was like, you shouldn't keep it there. And we just looked at each other like it was fucking weird, that it was just inappropriate that I just like grabbed his phone between his crotch. But genuinely, that is actually a big risk for you. If you want to have children, if you just want to have healthy sperm, if you want to have healthy testosterone levels, I don't think it's wise to keep this like modern technology right there an inch away. Because really visualize this, right? Imagine if you put your phone in your pocket right now. Think about genuinely how close it is to your balls. 1 inch? With that thin piece of fabric in between. I had read, and I'm not sure how accurate this is, but that the radio frequencies, imagine like, you know, what the issue is, that actually drops off exponentially because it spreads through distance. So what this means is your phone being literally 1 or 2 inches away from your balls is harmful because it's so close. But all you have to do is just move it a few inches away, and that will actually mean that it's exponentially less harmful because the kind of radiation frequency kind of thing, that kind of like disperses because there's a bit of distance. So don't keep it. Like, when we say it like this, does it seem smart to keep a piece of technology that emits some kind of radio frequency that connects to the internet and Bluetooth and cellular service 1 centimeter away from your testicles? Does that really seem smart? Now that I've asked you like this, it probably doesn't, right? So the easiest thing is literally just hold your phone like this. And I thought to myself, what if someone says, oh no, but like I live in a rough area and I might get robbed? Bro, if you live in that kind of area where you might get robbed if you're holding your phone, you would have gotten robbed if it was in your pocket anyway. It's not like there's a robber there who was going to rob you and he's like, oh yes, it's not in his pocket. Because if it was in his pocket, I wouldn't have. And then, you know, he sees you just like put it in and he's like, oh man, oh, I've got to go find another guy now who doesn't have his phone in his pocket. Like, if you live in that kind of place where like you're seen as a target because you're holding your phone, you'll probably get robbed if it was in your pocket too. And if anything, bro, if you're holding it, it's probably harder to steal. Like at that point, it's like, okay, this is a weird example we dive in deep to, but at that point you'd actually get like full on like assaulted, robbed, for them to snatch it from your fingers. But if you're holding your phone, it's probably harder for someone to take it from your hand than it is for someone to take it from your pocket. Pickpocketers are very common in a lot of countries. For someone to take it from your hand when you've already got like a grip on it, that's like a full-on confrontation where he's pulling it, you're pulling it. At that point, it's like, it's a PvP-enabled society you're living in, and you've got less worries than like, oh man, it might be logistically easier for them to take my phone off me if I'm holding it and I've got a weak hand grip. The second thing then you might say is, well, I was just going to pause the video and just like cope for a second, but because the next reason why I can imagine most people wouldn't follow this advice, to clarify, there's a limiting belief, which is probably a very common one, which you probably have in your mind right now. Because I've mentioned you could keep your phone on airplane mode, you could turn off the Wi-Fi and stuff. And probably the number one complaint about that is like, oh, but you know, like I want to keep I don't want to put my phone on airplane mode. I want to keep it on because, you know, I might get a message, I might get this, I might get this. And it just made me think so deeply about the state of the world and the kind of lives we're living, where we're literally willing to sacrifice not only our health, but really our purpose of life to carry on the bloodline, to have children. We're willing to sacrifice that for a bit of connectivity so that we can get the message instantly instead of when we turn off airplane mode to actually use our phones. Because when I tell young people this very often, my phone's always on airplane mode. It's always on airplane mode. My computer usually is as well. In fact, at home, I literally have the Ethernet cable, you know, like the internet cable. It's plugged in. I had to buy the biggest one, like 50 meters. It's plugged in downstairs. My room's the furthest one away. And I could just have Wi-Fi, but I literally got like my dad to put it in underneath the carpet flooring all the way up to my room because I didn't want that extra like radiation just like fucking frying my brain or something. Which, this seems dramatic, but for the sake of protecting your health, is it really? Can you be too dramatic in improving your health? Can you really? Like, some people say you can. Those are people who don't actually think that health should be a priority. So with the advice that I give, I'm often seen as an extreme guy. My phone is on airplane mode 24/7, apart from like the specific moments I go on my phone for something. I turn off the airplane mode, for example. I send the message that I need to send. Your phone updates, you receive the messages that you got. I've got 3 missed calls, so I look through them, check the voicemail, and I do that maybe 10 times a day. Is that like, that seems so different from everyone else, but really just think to yourself, how much would that negatively impact my life, really? Because I'm still replying to the people who I want to reply to. People are calling me and then just leaving a voicemail, or they're not leaving a voicemail, but then there's a missed number, so I literally just call that back. Oh, hi, you called me yesterday. Oh, okay. What am I missing out on? I think our brains have been injected with so much FOMO that for you to even consider something like not keeping your phone next to your balls, not having your phone emit all this radiation, not sleeping with your phone underneath your pillow, that seems kind of like scary for us, which is just so sad, because I totally understand why we get this FOMO, because we've started to associate our phone's usage genuinely with our social lives. It's like your tribe is now through the phone, and so if you take a step back through your phone or your computer and you're going on to like a dopamine detox, it feels hard to take a step back from social media, for example, because we've started to associate social media with our actual social connection, because it kind of is these days. But then when you think about the benefits of the life that you've gotten now that you use social media less since you've been watching my videos, it's worth it, right? I think this is the next step. And again, it seems kind of strange what I'm telling you, which is never keep your phone in your pocket again. Your phone's normal state should be that it's on airplane mode, and you purposely turn it off airplane mode with like something in specific in mind. And by the way, that's also an awesome way to just reduce your screen time as well, because you've just got intention. I literally will grab my phone for a purpose, thinking of one specific person to message, or, you know, to check this one thing, and I will turn off airplane mode and do that, and then turn it back on. I didn't miss out on anything in the meantime. Being disconnected from, you know, all the people around the world on your phone, it's like, it's not as bad as it seems, you know. Sure, you don't reply to someone as fast as possible, but the amount of extra focus that you get, the improvement to your mental health, and now we know through research, your physical health, your sexual health. It's a shame that more people don't follow this. Because even whilst I'm saying this, even whilst you're like nodding your head thinking, oh yeah, this is right, you know, normal people won't follow this, bro, there's a chance that you won't either. Because your phone's still on the normal mode, isn't it? It's not on airplane mode right now, is it? Now, you might cope and might say, yeah, I'm going to turn it on airplane mode right now, you know, with a bit of like a bit of aggression. Yeah, I'm going to do it right now. That's not going to do shit, bro. That's not going to do shit. Because it's not about turning it on right now and then 2 hours from now you'll turn it off to message someone, and then you'll just forget to put it back on, and you'll go back to living your normal life. Just another self-improvement video for you to mentally masturbate over. If you want to make real changes to your life, which is what I want from you, otherwise these videos, and like, my breath is wasted. You know how much my voice fucking hurt, like my throat hurts after I record for like 2 hours straight for these videos. All for you to just like not even actually use the advice. So I'm not saying with a level of bravado and confidence, put your phone on airplane mode right now and be like, yeah, I'm taking action right now. But I want you to just sit and think deeply to yourself. Do you want to live the life of modern normal people? You don't, right? So then you need to start to see yourself and start to behave like someone who's totally different to them. And you need to be okay with that, because you need to understand there's trade-offs for everything. And so there seems to be a downside with following some of my advice, with detaching away from the Jeffries, with keeping your phone on airplane mode. That means that, you know, if someone messages you, you don't see it straight away. That seems like a bad thing. There's like something you're sacrificing. But what you're gaining is way more productivity. You're gaining more focus in your business, in your work. You want to grow a YouTube channel. You're not getting distracted by these random people, this fucking Discord group chat of your old friends who you don't even like, but you just can't seem to not reply to them. So every now and then you still hop on a game with them. Like, what are you losing if you detach away from that? From your phone a little bit more. When was the last time, and don't bullshit yourself, when was the last time you actually left your house without your phone? It's actually a freeing experience. You could try that as a weird actionable step, which is somewhat related to this video. Just leave your phone, like straight away. What are you fearing now? You're probably thinking, oh yeah, that sounds like a good idea. But what about this? What if there's an emergency and someone messages me and they choose to message me instead of the emergency services? What if there's this? What if someone calls me? It's like you're starting to bullshit yourself. And the truth is, these aren't actually your thoughts. These are the thoughts that have been implanted into your mind by these companies that profit from your fear of missing out. That could be an interesting actionable step for the real 1%ers amongst us who actually take action. Keep your phone inside, take your house key, and just go for a walk with nothing to distract you, nothing to strip your presence away. No earphones. Oh yeah, but I'm just going to listen to an audiobook. Like, just be present with one thing at once, man. And never, ever put your phone in your pocket again. It's not that hard to follow this rule. Literally, wherever you go, just hold your phone like this. That's it. Just hold it like this. It's not difficult. Or just keep it in like a backpack, or just get a purse at this point, bro.